In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a front wheel bearing on your Volkswagen Passat. This is going to be located behind the front wheel. Let's get started. Using a right angle pick, remove all the plastic caps. Get behind them, pull straight out. Using a 17mm socket, remove the 5 lug studs. When we remove this last lug stud, the wheel's going to want to fall off. Be sure you have a hand on the tire. Remove the wheel. Remove the connector for the ABS sensor. Push on the locking tab, pull straight back, and remove the connector. Using a 5mm Allen bit, we're going to remove the screw for the ABS sensor. Remove the bolt. Wiggle the sensor back and forth, pull it straight out, and remove the sensor. Using a punch or a screwdriver, stick it in the fins of the brake rotor. This is going to hold our rotor for us as we remove the axle nut. Using a 24mm 12 point, we're going to remove the axle nut or the axle bolt. Remove the axle bolt. I'm going to pull the axle back out of the knuckle. Using a 21mm socket, we're going to remove our caliper bolts. Remove the bolts. I'm going to install a caliper hanger hook off of my strut. Remove the caliper, and I'm going to hang it on that hook where there's going to be no pressure on my brake hose. Using a T30 bit, remove the rotor screw. I'm going to install a lug stud to hold the rotor. I'm going to use a soft face hammer as to not damage the rotor. Break the rust on the rotor. Remove the lug stud. Remove the rotor. Using a 10mm wrench or socket, we're going to remove the bolt for the brake line and ABS bracket. Remove the bolt and pull the bracket off. I'm going to swing that caliper back a little bit farther and pull the harness and the brake line back. Using a 12mm triple square, we're going to remove the wheel bearing bolts. Before we remove them, we're going to pull our axle out of the back of the hub to the side. Pull the axle over to the other side. Do the same thing for the other 2 bolts. Remove all the wheel bearing bolts. We're going to remove our wheel bearing from our knuckle. To do this, we're going to use a hammer and go around, hitting the side of the hub. Remove the wheel bearing. Using a wire brush, go around and clean inside of the hub where the wheel bearing is going to sit. Clean out inside of the knuckle. We're going to use a bit of Never Seas inside of here. Just a nice thin coating. Install the wheel bearing into place. Get the bolts started through the back of the knuckle. Install the wheel bearing bolts by hand. Go around and get them all installed. Snug the wheel bearing bolts down in a cross pattern. Now we'll do top left, top right, and bottom left. Go around and torque all your wheel bearing bolts to 70 Newton meters. We're going to do this in a cross pattern. The top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right. And we're going to go an additional 180 degrees on all of these bolts. Push the axle into the hub, make sure those splines are lined up. Install the rotor. Install the rotor screw. Snug it down. I'm going to remove my caliper off of the hook. Then we're going to drag it around. Install it around the rotor and get the bolt started by hand. Snug the bolts down. Torque the caliper bolts to 200 Newton meters. I'm going to pull my axle forward from the back and get my axle bolt installed. Snug the bolt down. Install a punch in between the cooling fins, in between the bracket and the caliper. Torque the axle bolt to 200 Newton meters, and then an additional 180 degrees. Remove the punch, remove the caliper hanger if you had one, install the brake line and ABS bracket and get the bolt started. Snug the bolt down. Get it nice and snug. Install the ABS sensor into the knuckle. Be sure it's fully seated. Get the bolt started by hand. Snug down the bolt. Torque the bolt to 8 Newton meters. If you can't get a torque wrench on it, do the best you can. Install the connector, push until you hear a click. If you don't, give it a pull, make sure it's locked on. Install the wheel, get a lug stud started, snug it down to hold the wheel. Get the rest of the lug studs started. Snug them down. Using a 17mm socket, torque the lug studs to 103 foot-pounds in a star pattern. After completing this repair, you will need to bring your car to the local alignment shop for an alignment. Install the plastic caps, and you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.